Today we are discussing scriptural economies. If you've watched my videos on the Eidic perspective, attribution theory, and scriptures, then you will see how scriptural economies work to tie them all together. And like all of these videos, it will take practice and a lot of reviewing to get comfortable with their elements. So let's begin. Do you remember complex ascriptions? Pause and look back at your notes if need be. These are the large-scale ideas that humans attribute to the world. They are the discourses we use to make life meaningful. We've since learned a way to theorize about the construction of these and even more simple ascriptions. People create, consult, and control texts to transcend the problems that threaten their place in the world. This activity is the heart of making and maintaining our worldviews. And what have we come to call this activity? Scripturalizing. And we've been asking who, when, where, what, why, and how scripturalizing works. It was Shakespeare who said, "All the world's a stage, the men and women merely players." We've spent most of our time thinking about the way men and women follow their scriptures, and now we're going to try and tell their stories in greater detail, bringing their social drama into better view. And we'll do this through a lens called Scriptural Economies. It begins by looking for a context. Context refers to the setting in which something is situated. In literature class, you've heard of a word or passage's literary context. That is where the read selection fits within a larger body of work. Since we are studying the way humans make meaning, we're interested in people's social context, demographics, geography, historical setting, economic situations. Whenever we study people, we need to know as much about their background as possible, because it helps us frame what's going on in the foreground. Now, the foreground is what we've gotten really good at observing, scripturalizing. Understanding the context in which scripturalizing happens reveals a couple of things. The first thing is the social dynamics of a situation. Scripturalizing is something that's done when there is a problem, and humans are never unanimous when it comes to solving problems. So within a context, there are multiple scripturalizing triangles. They represent the marketplace of scriptural ideas, competing to achieve optimal effects. So even if we're focusing on one group, we should always think about whom they consciously and subconsciously understand as their rivals. The second thing we notice are the power dynamics between these groups. There usually appears a group who seems better situated within the context. This group appears to be doing something right because they have some serious power to show for it. We can label these groups as the orthodox group because they appear to be in the right. There are also other groups who are having a more difficult time within the outlined context. And to the orthodox powers that be, they look heterodox. They appear to be doing something other, different, improper. Now, from an emic perspective, all of these groups see themselves as orthodox, that they are doing things properly. But from an Eidic perspective, we can see that groups have varying levels of social capital. The orthodox are calling the shots, and the heterodox are just trying to keep up. So when we think about scripturalizing, we can describe the people and their doxological positions. We can talk about their scriptural texts, and we can talk about how transcendence manifests. Let's say a little bit more about transcendence. Sometimes it's a bit difficult to name the effects of scripturalizing. We get so mired in the search for scriptural texts that we overlook the more pressing matter of their social consequences, not only on the users, but also on everyone else. To rectify this, we need to zoom out a bit and ask ourselves this question. Given the context, what is the chief issue that people are responding to with their texts? Put differently, what is the subtext of these scripturalizing people? It's important to write this in the form of a question because this question haunts the conscious and subconscious of our subjects. The transcendence sought by all the observed groups is a response to this question, and all of this scripturalizing is context-bound. It's really easy to get swept up in people's passions. but theorizing about scriptural economies forces us to stop, take a step back, and think about what's going on. Groups do all this because they perceive crises and needs. Their conflict stems from the effects of their competing pursuits. So when we reflect critically about scriptural economies, we are trying to strengthen our understanding of the great and everyday dramas that shape humankind, and hopefully this knowledge will help us make more informed and ethical decisions.